here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook, and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to share some guidance and pull some cards for us for this week, this reading week, starting Wednesday the 11th of January through to Tuesday the 17th of January 2023. So I trust this message finds you well and that you're having a good day. I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Wednesday the 11th of January here, and the time is exactly 9:24 a.m. Was that the time I was live yesterday? It seems to feel very similar. So I want to send out an extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. So if you're new to watching, welcome. What I'm going to be doing is using my oracle cards that I created and illustrated. I've got two decks joined together, the Speed of Light Oracle and the Animal Kingdom Oracle cards. They've been joined together to make a 110 card deck. And I'll be using this deck to find the best cards for this week ahead. So I'm not pulling cards for individuals. This is general guidance for everyone. So I trust that you've been led here for a reason. And I trust that something shared will support you at this time. So I recommend that you take on board what feels right and what resonates, and the things that seem to speak directly to you, like it's just you and me here, take note of those and let the other things that don't resonate go, because they're most likely guidance that someone else needs. So welcome. Hi, Carol. Lovely to see you here. So I'm starting to shuffle. Let's just quickly recap on last week's theme, which was the turtle. And the turtle was reminding us or had an energy for our theme last week of slow and steady, and patience comes with that as well, doesn't it? So I know that certainly resonated with me. How did it go for you? Hi, Nadine. Welcome. So I'm now looking for the cards for this week. So this week, starting Wednesday the 11th of January through to Tuesday the 17th of January 2023. And I'm looking for the best cards that the majority of us need at this time. So the best cards for the majority of us, 11th till the 17th of January 2023, are these. And I'm going to place them face down here beside me. And I'm going to go down on the vertical. So 4 down and then 4 down. So lots of Animal Kingdom. We've got 2, 4, 6 Animal Kingdom and 2 Speed of Light Oracle. So let's see what the cards are. Oh, that's a nice start. Oh, yes. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. We have 2 dragons. So you've got a pretty good dragon guess. So hit me with your dragon guesses. So they can be the elements or the spirit dragon. So air, water, fire, earth, spirit dragon. So we've got 2 of them coming up midweek. I think we're in for a pretty exciting week this week. Okay, let's just get straight into it. There's no featured cards. Wednesday, the 11th of January, we have the Elementals card, which is card 30. It says blessings, abundance, prayers, and opening. This is the abundance card. This is a really great card to get for Wednesday, for the first day of this reading week. It highlights abundance, and abundance can come in many forms. It means usually it means that things are in good flow, pretty good flow on Wednesday. We might find that we find some sales or discounts if we're out shopping. We might find that we have an increase in income, or we have the finances that we need, or there's a good flow of finances around for Wednesday. It'll be a great time to apply for a job, most likely. A great time to start a project or continue with a project. There is this Midas touch feeling here with this abundance card. So the important thing, well, some important things to remember about this card is that abundance is there. It's always there. And I imagine it as like a man carrying a bag full of gold representing abundance, and he walks constantly past our house, past our door, our front door. He walks past constantly, like let's say daily is the feeling here, where abundance is always walking past us. It's always close by. But often, not always, but often, and depending on our mood and what we're going through, we can not even notice that abundance that's walking straight past our door. We may have our door closed. We may have all the blinds and curtains closed, and we may be in our own world dealing with our own problems and worrying and concerning ourselves with certain things, that we so focused on that we're closed off to the abundance that we could tap into and that we could enjoy, that's going right past our door every day. If we are open to it, and if we're not so focused and dwelling on things that maybe aren't really that important to be dwelling on, and we open up our curtains, we open up the doors, and we open up ourselves, because that's what this all represents, then we can tap into that abundance that's flowing right on by our home, or right on by us. So it's always flowing there. It doesn't stop. That potential for prosperity, that potential for abundance, I feel is always there. It is a constant, like the sun coming up and down every day. But it's whether we're open or closed, and whether we're noticing or not noticing. That is the key. So on Wednesday, we've been encouraged to open ourselves up. Maybe if we've got tunnel vision on something that we're dealing with, let's maybe drop the tunnel vision, even just for Wednesday, and see what happens. Let's drop the tunnel vision and expand so we can see more of the horizon and see what happens. So there's that sort of feeling that wants to come in as well. So open and abundance right there on Wednesday. So great start to the week. And then we flow into Thursday, the 12th of January. And I've already touched on this a bit, so we're going to explore it further. It's the Echidna, card 19, and it says, don't dwell on the details. So maybe it resonated with you when I was saying about tunnel vision. Maybe you've got tunnel vision on something. Maybe you're feeling really concerned and worried and pressured by something specific that you're feeling really muddled by, or maybe really consumed by, or even obsessed with at this time. So expanding that tunnel vision. But this Echidna card's reminding us not to dwell on the details. I mean, details are important. This is not ignoring all details, but sometimes we get too focused and too obsessed and too consumed by the details, especially things that we're trying to control, things that are out of our control, things that have nothing to do with us. It still blows my mind how many people are consumed by and obsessed by things that really have nothing to do with us. So other things that you've got tunnel vision of do you need to have that? Is that working for you? Is it healthy in this situation? Is it something that directly connected with you? If it's not, then the Echidna is reminding us just to keep going, just to keep on going. Let's not stop and dig up the dirt and focus on the nitty-gritty details of every little thing, the things that aren't really that important in the grand scheme of things. So Thursday, let's keep going. Let's keep enduring. Let's keep going on our journey and stop distracting ourselves. Sometimes we do focus and dig up the dirt on things as we go, focusing so much on things that don't really need to be focused on. And sometimes we do that as a way to just distract ourselves, a delay tactic in going to the place where we are actually going. So just make sure you're not trying to distract yourself or procrastinate along your journey. So keep going, just keep going, keep focusing ahead, especially Thursday. Now we get to Friday the 13th of January, and we have the Dolphin, card 6. It says that it's a time to celebrate. So this is celebrate. This is something, a celebration. This is a breaching of the waters, our inner waters, our emotions, a breakthrough of sorts that we might feel after a period of healing or a period of struggle or a period of challenge. There's this breakthrough feeling like we're a dolphin or a whale breaching up out of the waters, out of the ocean, and bursting up into the sky. There's a fireworks kind of feeling with this card, a celebration, a gratitude. If you're celebrating a birthday or an anniversary or some type of celebration at this time, then this is certainly applicable to you in that literal sense. But it could be a personal celebration too, this personal sense of accomplishment or achievement that we might feel personally in what we've been doing or the effort that we've been putting into something. It feels quite emotional, so there might be quite an emotional connection with this celebration or this fireworks, this appreciation that we feel that's potentially around on Friday the 13th. So it is a time to celebrate. And if it's difficult to celebrate because maybe you've been through a tough period, then sometimes celebration can be a bit sort of too far away from the space that we've been in. So sometimes I replace that word celebration with appreciation, because that sort of backs off the glamour of celebration and brings it a little closer to home, sort of grounds it a little bit. So celebrating and making time, or it's a time to celebrate, is just a bit too much for you because maybe life hasn't really been that good recently, or you've been really struggling, then maybe think about this being a time of appreciation. And what can you appreciate? What can you celebrate in some ways, or appreciate or be grateful for, that is occurring or around you at this time? So that's for Friday the 13th. Okay, so we're going to go for 3 cards for the weekend, and I'm going to tie these 2 days together. Some people message me and say, why are you tying days together? Well, I just read the cards intuitively. So sometimes things feel like they bunch over a couple of days. And sometimes, I don't necessarily read in a linear fashion, although it probably happens most of the time. So it just is what I feel it needs to be, and I trust that. So we've got 3 cards for the weekend. 2 of them are dragons, if you missed the pull before. So I don't know what your dragon guesses are, but I'm actually going to just reveal 1 card at a time. So this is for the weekend. It's like an umbrella or of an overarching feeling for the weekend, the 14th and the 15th. So we start, our first dragon is the Spirit Dragon, card 26, and it says heightened energy. This is the highest vibrating card in the entire deck of 110 cards. So this is highlighting this weekend is potentially going to be quite powerful for us. There is a Midas touch feeling with this card too, like I already mentioned with the abundance card that's come up for Wednesday the 11th. So we've got this Midas touch feeling for Wednesday. We've got this Midas touch feeling for the weekend, for Saturday and Sunday potentially too. This is a great time to connect with our loved ones in spirit, and it's a great time to connect spiritually over the weekend if that's something that pulls us, that we're called to do. The weekend is potentially quite powerful. So this brings a highlight of power, of amplification, of abundance we could also go into as well with this card. And things feel like they're expanding somehow, like growing in a really powerful and meaningful way. Not a dominating power over something or over someone. It's almost like we relinquish control this week and we let a natural empowering power come in. And this feels empowering. So it does feel like there's an empowerment that we could also tap into this weekend in general. Now, the other dragon for the weekend as well, the 14th and the 15th, is the Air Dragon. This is card 27. And it's reminding us, or it says here, that your mind is powerful. So this highlights our mental focus this weekend. And we might find this a great time to focus on things, that we're doing or things that we want to create, projects we're working on, changes that we want to make, healing that we want to bring forward for ourselves. This will be a great weekend to focus on these types of things or other things. So we've already kind of moved past the distractions that might potentially come up with the echidna. So we're not stopping and digging up the dirt and focusing on things to distract ourselves from moving forward. We've moved past that. There is movement, like we're beelining away from that distractive, procrastinating sort of energy. So it feels like we're focused and we're going. And it feels to be not only with the spirit dragon, but this dragon too is a very powerful card just to even have on its own. Shows and highlights and amplifies this extra power around this weekend. Empowerment, though. I want to emphasize that power to me is like an empowerment. So hopefully you feel that a bit with me, because my intention in being here is to empower you. So by me holding in my power and expressing it as confidently and clearly as I can, hopefully inspires you to lift up and step up in your life. That's empowerment. And that's what I see power as I'm talking about it in this particular context. So focus, our mind will help us break through obstacles and break through things this weekend, potentially. And then the other card for the weekend, the 14th and the 15th of January, is the creation card 29. That's interesting. So we've had 26, 27, 29. Creation. Down here it says source, uncoil, light, and authentic. This is about coming out of our shell. It's about uncoiling and opening up, which then reminds me again of that abundance card that came up for Wednesday about being open to noticing and receiving the abundance that's available. And this is about opening up to our true light, our true self, that authenticness within us. You know, it's not trying to impress others. It's not saying what we think others want to hear. It's not being a doormat consistently. It's not, it's about following our heart, the truth of ourselves, the truth of who we are, and opening to that like a snake, like a serpent that's all tightly coiled, and it opens up, it uncoils itself. So a great opportunity this weekend to open up to the light, but especially authenticity and that authentic, true energy that is within us. We contain it. So it's, in another way of looking at this too, it's about getting to know who we are, the truth of who we are. You know, expectations from others and how we've conformed and been conditioned to be, that aside, it's truth. It's stripping back all our layers of identity and title and all this stuff that we think makes us who we are, that is all just society really in some ways. So it feels to me like a breaking down of that coating, of that shell, and cracking into ourselves to see who we truly are, with conditions and titles and identities and all this sort of stuff put aside. Who are you underneath all of that stuff that society has put you in a box to be? Are you more than that? Because I'm quite confident that you are. I know that I am, and I've explored this a lot over these last few years. I'm much more than those conditions of the box that society wants to put me in. So really, in truth, it's about getting to know ourselves this weekend, the truth of who we are, beyond of who we think we are, but who we really, truly are. And there's a big difference. So journal writing may be helpful if this is something that you're on a quest to discover and connect with on a deeper level. Journal writing, time of connection, times of focus as well, and seeing what unfolds. Okay, so powerful weekend in store. Now, Monday, the 16th of January, we have my little friend. We have so many frogs right now. Like yesterday, I did not that much landscaping, maybe over the course of about 2 hours, and I literally saw about 24 frogs. Like, we have got frogs in absolute abundance here, and it's just mind-blowing every time I see one hop away. So this is the frog, card 34 for Monday. And it says to cleanse your environment. So this is a time of purging, and it also feels like a time of freshness. There's a fresh energy that wants to come in, something refreshing, something pure, something clean that wants to come in too on Monday. So we may find ourselves releasing and relinquishing all that dirty, toxic energy that we've been holding on to. And maybe we realize over the weekend what that is, so that we can clear it and purge it by the time we get to Monday. So cleansing your environment, your inner and your outer environment, to keep things fresh, to keep things clean and pure. And then Tuesday, 17th of January, we've got the kangaroo. And the kangaroo is card 10, and it says to leap over the obstacle. This is movement. Okay. There's a lot of movement this week. The echidna feels like it's beelining and just kind of shuffling. They don't move very fast. It's just shuffling in a straight line ahead. It's not being distracted by anything. So the echidna feels moving straight ahead. That was for Thursday. The kangaroo feels like it's leaping ahead. So there's a lot of potential this week, especially Tuesday, as well as some other days, for movement, for action, for productivity. If you're feeling like you've got obstacles around you by the time you get to Tuesday, look at how you can leap over that obstacle. Is it really an obstacle? That's probably the first thing to ask ourselves. We might believe it to be an obstacle, but when we really look at it, is it really an obstacle? Maybe it's an opportunity instead of an obstacle. That's how I like to see obstacles. If I find that there's an obstacle in my path, I'll look at changing my attitude about it and go, okay, yes, this might be an obstacle, but I'm going to turn this into an opportunity to learn, to grow, to understand more about myself or about my life. How can you change your perspective on the obstacle and leap over the obstacle if it's not that big of a deal? It may not be a big deal. So leap forward, run forward, stride forward. We're going ahead. So a great week for action, movement, change, productivity, that sort of thing. So the cards for this week. My goodness, I think we are in for a whopper of a week. So let's see how it all unfolds. Thank you for joining me today. I am going to pull a theme card in just a minute. Before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment. Please share if you're inspired to. And please reach out privately through my website if you'd prefer. You can contact me on my website, templeofbalance.com.au. So I've got both of my card decks on my website now, ready to go and send to you. We send worldwide regularly from Australia. So Speed of Light and the Animal Kingdom. They're the cards I've used today. You can combine them or you can work with them on their own. They're very effective on their own too, but I just love having a big deck to play with. So you can combine them. I've got new pendants on my website, including this. This is not mine. I've borrowed this very gently right now because it feels so powerful and loving and connective, and this is on the website now, and there are a few other new pendants as well. Please have a look. And I've got my next online art class coming up on the 20th. That's Friday. Our online art class is focused around the theme of love. And my next card reading club, if you want to get the most out of working with your cards, our theme for the card reading club is resurrection. So what are we resurrecting and rebirthing in our life or in this new year? That's what we're going to explore. So check those out and everything else I do on my website at templeofbalance.com.au. Thanks so much for your support. So I'm looking for the best here, the best card. I was thinking of my other deck, but I'm not using that deck. I'm looking for the best card for the majority of us for our theme for this week ahead. The theme will help us see the bigger picture for this week and something quite important to keep in mind. So our best theme card for Wednesday the 11th of January through to the 17th of January 2023. for the majority of us, is this Speed of Light Oracle card. And it's love. It's love. We haven't seen this card for quite a while. It's card 39, Twin Flame. And down here it says union, love, togetherness, equal, and effort. This is a great time to work with other people, either in our personal, intimate relationships with family members, work, co-workers as well, or just other people in general. There is a sense here of, in general, we might see eye to eye with another person. This tends to be just one other person, but it could be in different scenarios, us and this person, us and that person. So there's a sense of equality, of seeing eye to eye with another person. So a great time for partnerships, meetings and things like this with a one-on-one kind of energy. This card also requires effort. So it shows effort is required this week. Effort to reach out to these people. Effort to reach out to those that we love or those that we care for that we haven't connected with for a while. Maybe we want to make the effort to make a phone call, or the effort to visit, or the effort to get in touch or stay in touch. It requires effort to maintain all sorts of relationships. So what effort can you put in to help support that relationship that's important to you? So yeah, I think that's probably all really. There is a strong, if you're going a bit deeper with your healing, there is a strong masculine energy that's pushing through at the moment. So we had a couple of weeks of very strong feminine energy that I feel was really teaching us about patience, as well as a few other things, but very much anchored in that patience energy. And in these last few days, maybe the last 3 to 5 days, there's been a strong masculine energy coming in to balance that feminine and that patient energy that some of us have been connecting with. So there is a strength and an independence sort of energy that's coming in from the divine masculine, or the true masculine, that's awakening inside many of us as we step into our power in that empowering sense, step into our strength. So once we've established that foundation of patience that a lot of us are feeling or are working on feeling, you might feel the opposite because you're learning to get into that space of patience. So once we get that, and it's like a comfortable pillow, then, and we're settled into it, then this masculine's wanting to come through. So in relation to this card and that energy, if you've been resonating with that, is this rise or this coming forth of the masculine to join with the feminine that we've already been settling ourselves into, primarily patience for the most part, that these two energies are coming in to unite, to marry together, that we are, whether we're male or female in the physical sense, we are male and female on the energetic sense. We are yin yang. We are that balance of the masculine and feminine. And if we become too lopsided or too focused on one over the other, then we get out of balance. So we actually need the yin yang, that balance of the true masculine and feminine within us in our life to find and hold that balance. So I don't know if you're working through that. I certainly am, and I know a few of you are. So a great theme for the week, a great week. Let's enjoy this week. It feels like it's going to be quite high vibrating and powerful. Have a great week. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care of yourself, and bye for now.